Hello and welcome to this presentation on the melodic minor scale. This presentation is to compare the melodic minor scale to the major scale with scale degrees. And if you don't understand scale degrees, it's important that you go back and learn more about that first. This scale degree system, in a nutshell, is set up to align with the major scale, and pretty much every other scale or chord is measured against it. In other words, the major scale formula is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with natural half steps occurring between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1. So if we look at the melodic minor scale and we lower the third down, which is the formula for the melodic minor scale, we have a 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. And the significance of the melodic minor scale is that it is the only other 7-note combination of notes as a scale quality that only consists of whole steps and half steps and does not have a consecutive half step. In other words, we don't have like 1, flat 2, 2. The main difference is that we see here flat 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is 4 consecutive whole steps, whereas the major scale splits those up into whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Melodic minor is whole, half, whole, 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 half. And when I say this is the only other scale, I'm not talking about the modalities of each scale. We can inverse these each 7 times, so we do have other modalities, but as a scale system, the major and the melodic minor are the only two 7-note scales that do not have whole steps, or excuse me, that only have whole steps and half steps and do not have consecutive half steps. Let's take a look at the key of D. This is D major on the guitar. If we understand our fretboard here, turning this into a melodic minor system would simply be to replace the F sharp with the F, and then we have a D melodic minor system here. If we look at just the D string, D, E, F, instead of F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, we have whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. Here we have side by side the D major scale and the D melodic minor scale. If we break these off into triads, we'll see that there's a lot of common chords between the two. Of course, the first chord is going to be different. The D minor in the melodic minor scale, and the D major in the D major scale. But if we look at the next note, because there's only one note difference, we see that the EGB and the EGB are produced in both scales. So each scale has the minor. Now, anytime the F sharp is involved, it's going to be different. So here we have the F sharp minor, and this is where the melodic minor scale has something that the major scale does not have. Inside of it is an augmented chord. The F, A, and C sharp is an augmented chord, and that's part of what gives the melodic minor its uniqueness over the major scale, because there is no such thing as a naturally occurring augmented chord. So if we go to the G, the B, the D, we see we have the same thing in the melodic minor scale. So the 4 chord is major in both systems. And then similarly, the A, the C sharp, and I'm going to go back here to grab this one, the E, we see we have the same thing in the melodic minor scale as well. So the 5 chord is major in both systems. And then with the major scale, we have B, D, and F sharp, making it B minor. In the melodic minor scale, we have a B, D, and F, which makes it a B diminished chord. And then finally, the C sharp, the E, and the G make it a C diminished, and that is similar in the melodic minor scale, C sharp, E, and G. So in the melodic minor scale, we have a system that goes minor, minor, major, major, or excuse me, minor, minor, augmented, major, major, diminished, diminished. Whereas in the major scale, we have a system of chords that goes major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished. So just the one note difference produces a lot of differences, but then a lot of similarities. If you're looking to prove my claim that the melodic minor and the major scale systems are the only two 7-note scales that are comprised of whole steps and half steps without any consecutive half steps, then you will need a combination calculator, perhaps in another video. It would be quite boring, but I can go through the whole process of how this was, how this came about in fully understanding. List all the notes of the chromatic scale, choose 12 as the total number of parts to choose from, and then 7 notes, and it'll give you 792 combinations. Again, when I refer to that, I'm referring to each scale and its system of modes. So as we invert this, we will have other modes of each scale, but as scale systems themselves, they are the only two. If you find another one and prove me wrong, that would be fantastic, because I would love to hear a new scale like that. But in my search, these are the only two that I found. So I hope you've understood this presentation on the melodic minor scale. If you haven't added it to your playing, experiment with it, because it makes an interesting change up from the major scale.